Hello everybody, here is your complimentary video for your maths today. So, if you're watching me, you've clicked on the hyperlink to the video, so good on you. For maths this week, we're going to focus on strategies that we can use to work out and solve worded problems. You should be familiar with this poster. Oh, hello, I'm just on the side, by the way. I'll be popping in and out. You should be familiar with this poster that came from Rob V, these strategies up here, because we did use them a fair bit last term. And these 10 things that are on here are all available to you to help you work out and solve worded problems. So when we get stuck, we're not just going to give up, because our brain is a muscle, and when we're in struggle town, lots of learning actually happens. So if we get stuck on a maths problem, what we're going to do is take a break, walk away, think about it, come back and try and use one of these problem-solving strategies and see where that gets you. Remember, the answers to these, or the strategies that we should use for these types of maths problems, don't always come to us straight away. Sometimes we need to mull it over a little bit. Our learning intention for today is to, for this week, is to solve multi-digit worded problems by choosing and applying appropriate problem-solving strategies. I'm going to deconstruct that in a minute on my other whiteboard for you. But in the meantime, before I start doing that, I want you to start thinking about what the success criteria for this are going to look like. How will I know that I have solved a worded problem? How will I know that I have used an appropriate strategy? And how will I know that I have applied it and that I have found the most reasonable or accurate answer to the worded problems? The other step process that we're going to use to help us is cubes. These 5 steps here, which we're going to introduce this week as well. I know that many of you are already familiar with this because you looked at it in year 4. So it's just a recap, really. We're going to move over to the whiteboard. So I'm just going to move the video slightly and I'll be standing over here. Again, and then I'm going to duck through. Again, I have written out our learning intention here. So our intention is to solve multi-digit worded problems by choosing and applying appropriate problem-solving strategies. Just before we get on to thinking about what this will look like, how will I know that I've done this, which is our success criteria, let's just have a look at some of the language in this. So we're all on the same wavelength about meaning. So to solve means to find the answer. Sometimes it might be an open-ended problem and have many different answers, so each person could have a different answer. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's a closed question and it's got one particular answer. Multi-digit, multi means more than one or lots. So our numbers are going to range. They could range from decimal points, so from thousandths all the way up to millions. Worded problems means that the sum or the problem is going to be presented to you in words. And what else have we got here? Oh, by choosing. This is where you're going to have to put your brain into action and start thinking about which strategy or which operations or how am I going to work this out. So you will go to Rob V's problem-solving strategies. You will use cubes for that. Then we're going to, so choose means have I picked the strategy that's going to work best for me? And then here, when we're applying it, have I actually used that strategy correctly? So we've got lots of things to learn here. All of these parts that I've just deconstructed with you actually give us clues about what our success criteria are going to look like, because we have to know and use all of these things. I'm going to get you started with success criteria, and then I'm going to ask you to write some of your own. My one is going to be, how will I know I've been successful at this? Well, I will use the cube's steps. I could add with accuracy, but I don't have to, but I like to put that at the end, because you might be using the cube steps and not getting the correct answer. So hopefully we're getting the correct answer. Here is one success criteria that will tell me that I'm starting to achieve this. I want you to think of your own success criteria for this. 5A, we did this with the sticky notes. Remember, we all came out the front and did this last term, so I know you can do this. 5B and C, this might be a little bit new to you, but have a go at it, please. I want everybody to write the learning intention into their maths book, and then underneath that, I want you to think of at least 3 success criteria that are going to tell you that you have achieved this learning intention. Once you've written those 3 into your maths book, could you then please type one of them into the comments under this video, and we can share them. That way we can learn from our peers. And I can also then fill in some success criteria onto the math slides for the rest of the week. All right, have a go at that.